Hi, this is RyanPack09, and let's play Ghostbusters the Video Game. We've already finished up all those phone episodes I said I'd be going through again, and now we're going to take a look at the world of Tobin's spirit guide, as well as the cursed artifacts we've collected to learn more about them. Exciting, isn't it? Okay, first up, Tobin's spirit guide. Azet Lore the Destroyer. Ooh. Class 6 Elevated Remnant, Deity, Melee Range, Weakness Proton Stream, Special Limited Weak Point. Azet Lore, Keeper of Knowledge, was once a powerful leader in Shandor's cult of Gozer, and as a reward for a lifetime of service was given eternal life as a transformed demigod in the twisted ghost world plane. Now golem-like, he clothes himself in a dense skin of environmental debris that, with the addition of the massive reserves of PKE, makes him a devastating and dangerous opponent. You bet your sweet Bippy it does. Yikes, that guy pounded us bad. Beauty Queen Ghost, that is no beauty. Ugh. Class 4 Wandering Possessor, must trap, attack range, weakness proton stream, Days duration moderate, trap resistance medium, special ability possess bystanders. Beauty pageants and parades of all sorts have always been a big part of the culture of New York City, and beauty queens have been among the city's crowning jewels. Beauty queens hate to be replaced though, and as for some, perching atop thrones and waving to the masses is the high point in life. In death, they remain desperate for attention and return to reign and be adored all over again in spectral splendor. Yikes. Okay. Bellhop Ghost. Class 3 Animated Spectre. Ghost must trap, melee range, weakness proton stream, days duration long, trap resistance low. While all grand hotels have their dark secrets, the elegant Sedgwick Hotel has them all trumped. Ever since it opened in 1897, the Sedgwick has exuded an eerie atmosphere. An inordinate number of guests and staff have met untimely ends due to strange accidents and sometimes foul play. Most of them stay forever, drawn to an inexorable force that traps them in the Sedgwick's many corridors, suites, ballrooms, and service areas. The spectral staff takes care of the hotel, and they don't appreciate disturbances other than the ones they create themselves. Tell me about it. Black Slime. Class 1 Caustic Seep. Black slime is encountered in locations of intersection between the real and ghost worlds. It is a dangerous substance formed of ectoplasm supersaturated with negative energy. Black slime is incredibly caustic and will cause severe damage to anyone heedless enough to come in contact with it. Based on its spectral presence echo, black slime also appears to function as a conduit for PKE energy and could, if saturated with enough spiritual energy, conceivably act as a ghost portal. Ugh. Black Slime Fiend. Class 5 Black Slime Fiend, corporeal, dispersible, melee rush ambush, weakness slime, special ambusher. These humanoid fiends are composed entirely of PKE saturated black slime. Motivated by a seething anger and caustic to the touch, black slime fiends are dangerous if straightforward and unimaginative fighters. But don't be lulled by their apparent simplicity. Black slime fiends are seldom encountered alone. Tell me about it. Like, those things just wouldn't quit. Black Slime Ghost. Class 5 Black Slime Floater. Corporeal, undispersible. Attack range and rush. Weakness slime. Days duration short. Trap resistance high. These entities are unique among Class 5 ghosts. Unlike other phantoms, the ectoplasm that creates the form of these creatures is infused with black slime. The resulting hybrid is an exceptionally dangerous enemy that can be difficult to overcome. Recent developments indicate that black slime floaters may not be actually occurring descendants of the ghost world. Oh, Shandor created them. What a shock. Black Slime Monster. Class 6 Slime Shambler. Corporeal, melee range berserk, weakness slime. These power brokers hailed from and dominated their respective industries in the late 1800s through mid 1900s. Shandor used his dark abilities to help each of them in some state of their careers, and they were indebted to him. They came together publicly as trustees of the Natural History Museum and privately misused their influence to help Shandor implement and maintain his mandala throughout the city. When each of them died, they returned as guardians to the mandala. Their closeness to Shandor's evil regenerated them as enemies made of black slime. Ugh, what a fate. Ugh. Okay. Bookbat. Oh, I went through. Class 1 inhabiting Swarmer. Corporeal, dispersible, attack, rush, swarm, weakness, shock blast. It's a book, but it acts like a bat. They can be very dangerous when flocking in swarms. Tell me about it! These bat-like minion spirits have been forced into the mortal plane where they animate books and tomes. Book bats often travel in swarms and are very territorial, attacking when disturbed. Under some circumstances, these Class 1 entities can be coerced or controlled by more powerful entities. Yeah, like Shandor, the Grey Lady. Oh man, those paper cuts were murder. Oh! Book Centurion. Class 6 Armored Composite. Corporeal and dispersible. Attack, melee, range, rush. Proton stream is their weakness. Special damage blocking shield. It's not known if the attraction is the books or the actual stored knowledge, but these Class 6 entities favor the same book and scroll-filled locations that paper constructs are drawn to. Okay. Book Centurions are composed of P-key bonded books and papers, but with a higher book concentration. Most notably, however, Book Centurions can carry a distinctive shield, a concentrated PKE barrier that blocks most directed energy attacks. Fortunately, the capture stream can still indirectly attack and be used to tear the shield from the Centurion's hand. Yeah, good thing too. Book Golem. Class 6 Bidimensional Attractor. Type unstable, wrangle parts. Attack, melee, and berserk. Weakness, shock blast. Golems can bend objects to their will, manipulating to form portions of their own physically manifested form. PK energy greatly enhances the golem's ability to reconstitute damage or destroy parts of its body. This golem was formed from the overly magnetic, energetic PKE charged books in the public library. Yeah, that place is a PKE hotspot. Candelabrum Crawler. Class 2 Vermin Imprinter. Corporeal and dispersible. Attack, range, swarm, weakness, proton stream. Candelabrum crawlers are powered by swarming little vermin spirits who animate seemingly innocent light fixtures and turn them into sinister purpose. These spirits, primarily imprint of an animalist life force that once existed in our physical world, take over simple objects and then force them into a rough copy of their original physical form. Wonder what they used to be. Cemetery Crawler. Class 2 Vermin Mimic. Corporeal and dispersible. Attack, range, rush, swarm. Weakness, boson dart. Cemetery closely related to the imprinted vermin spirits, aka candelabrum crawlers. Like other scuttlers, these Class 2 vermin mimics are powered by swarming minor spirits that animate gravestones and other funerary monuments. Because cemetery crawlers are comprised primarily of stone, they are more resistant to damage than is typical for Class 2 entities, and is another reason why it is probably best to spend as little time in haunted cemeteries as possible. Yeah, pretty good advice. Chef de Forest. Class 4 Anchored Phantom. Ghost must trap. Attack, melee, range, spawn. Weakness, proton stream. Days duration, moderate. Trap resistance, medium. Special summons minions. Chef de Forest was a challenge chef on the verge of becoming world famous. The night the restaurant critic came to his restaurant, however, things went poorly. In order to avoid a bad review, the intensely paranoid chef poisoned the critic's dessert course. He hid the poison poorly, though, and it accidentally found its way into the staff's dinner the following evening. The entire staff, including Chef DeForest himself, died horrible and painful deaths. Boy, talk about being hoisted by your own petard, pal. Oy. Next time, just take a bad review. Coal Golem. Class 6 bidimensional attractor. Attack. Unstable. Regular parts. Attack melee and berserk. Weakness shock blast. Golems can bend objects to their will, manipulating to form portions of their own physically manifested form. PKA energy greatly grants the golem the ability to reconstitute damage or destroy portions of its body. This golem was formed from PKA charged coal in the New York City's public library's furnace room. Yeah, a fun time it was not. Confederate Ghosts. Class 4 full torso specter. Ghost must trap. Attack, melee, range, rush, weakness, proton stream, days, duration, moderate, trap resistance, medium. These ghosts, fighting for Poindexter's partisan rangers, were so dedicated and focused during their battle that when it ended with their deaths, they failed to realize it. Trained to fight and nearly follow their regimented banner, and when that tattered battle flag made its way into the museum's collection, so did they. Unfortunately, there they encounter other ghosts loyal to the Union, and the resulting fight has raged ever since. Poindexter's partisan rangers evidently believe that the South will rise again, even if it takes more than a lifetime. Yeah, not fun. Construction Worker Ghost. Class 3 Animated Spectre. Type Ghost must trap. Behaviors: attack, melee, range, weakness, proton stream, days duration long, trap resistance low, in other words, wimp. Skyscraper and bridge construction crews. Brave souls that, since the evolution of the Manhattan skyline, have met their fates in terrible accidents. They've fallen from great heights, been crushed by swinging steel, drowned in vats of settling concrete, and scalded by hot pitch. The city is built on the bones of these victims on-the-job construction accidents. Now they've all found new careers in deconstruction. Yeah, of people. Yikes. Cook Ghost. Class 3 Animated Spectre. Ghost must trap, attack, range, weakness, proton stream, days duration long, trap resistance low. To avoid a scathing review, the famous French chef DeForest poisoned a food critters dessert course. Fortunately, he did a poor job of hiding poisoning, and the next night it accidentally found its way into his staff's dinner, causing them all horrible and painful deaths. When the state-of-the-art kitchen equipment was brought and imported to New York by the Cedric Hotel, the ghost of the chef and his now post-mortal staff unfortunately came with it. That explains a lot. Poor slobs. Cruster. Class 5 Telekinetic Animator. Ghosts must trap. Attack, range, telekinetic, weakness, proton stream, days duration long, trap resistance median. These animator ghosts never walk the earth as humans. They are ectoplasmic enemies that came through an interdimensional terrace to our world. These creatures seem to personify sloth, and unlike most ghosts, these Class 5 entities don't seem to operate alone. They almost always seem to be accompanied by another of their kind. Yeah, been there, done that. Crusto. Class 5 Telekinetic Animator. Ghost must trap. Attack, range, telekinetic, weakness, proton stream, days duration long, trap resistance medium. These animator ghosts never walk the earth as humans. They're ectoplasmic entities that came through the interdimensional terrace to our world. These creatures seem to personify sloth, and unlike most ghosts, these Class 5 entities don't seem to operate alone. They almost always seem to be accompanied by another kind. In other words, just like the Cruster Ghost. Okay. Cultist. Class 3 Elevated Remnant. Ghost must trap. Attack, range, weakness, Meson Collider, days duration short, trap resistance high. Shandor's horde of Gozer worshippers are drawn from around the world. Shandor cultivated his minions carefully, drawing followers both from the world's most affluent quarters and from the halls of intelligentsia. He promised them all stations of power and glory in the post-Gozer millennia, while secretly binding them to his own surface in life and afterwards. Though fairly powerful entities, these cultists seem to be superior to other, more powerful creatures. Yeah, like Shandor. Cultist Summoner. Class 3 Mortal Remnant. Ghost. Must trap. Attack, range, and spawn. Weakness, Meson Collider. Days duration, moderate. Trap resistance, medium. Special summoning ability. Once lesser leaders in Shandor's cult, these elevated cultists are now part of his paranormal horde of minions. Though they seem to possess elevated positions of power over the lesser cultists, these elevated cultists are still utterly subservient to Shandor's will. I never even realized that the cultists were weak to the Meson Collider. Then again, by that point, I just was getting along so well by using the stasis stream slime tether combo to trap them quickly. So, oh well. Dead Fish Flyer. Class 1 inhibiting Swarmer. Corporeal, dispersible. Attack, rush, swarm, suicide. Weakness, proton stream. These minor spirits seem to be subservient to a greater entity's will and have been driven to protect it by possessing and controlling a variety of fish market cast-offs. Like other Class 1 swarmers, dead fish flyers are quick-moving but fairly weak creatures that, once disrupted, quickly fade back into the depths of the ghost world. And good riddance. Ectoplasm. Something that every Ghostbuster is familiar with. Class 1 supernatural secretion. Type environmental. A thick, slimy substance. Ectoplasm is formed when ghosts interact with the physical world. Usually seen as viscous, mucus-like slime, ectoplasm has also been encountered in mist-like and even crystalline forms. Fancy that. Ectoplasmic residue. Class 1 supernatural secretion. Environmental. The ectoplasmic residue identifies areas of paranormal contact or interaction. While some ectoplasm can be seen with the naked eye, ectoplasmic residue can only be seen while using the PKA meter enhanced paragoggles, which we have, being Ghostbusters. Yep. Flying Skull, Class 1 Oxyofocus Swarmer, Type Corporeal. Okay, behaviors: attack, rush, swarm, suicide. Weakness, shock blast. Skulls are scary, especially when they fly around with glowing eyes and try to kill you. These Class 1 swarmers are drawn strangely but exclusively to skulls, real or imitation. Like other swarmers, flying skulls defend their territory with exceptional vigor. It's best not to trespass unless accompanied by a fully charged proton pack. No kidding. Grave Fiend. Class 6 Reanimator. Corporeal, disposable. Attack, melee, range, rush, weakness, shock blast. Known to haunt cemeteries and other less official boneyards, grave fiends are semi-sentient, self-aware entities whose hatred and anger in life now fuels their malicious and highly antisocial behavior in death. Not a terribly imaginative or cunning fighter, your average grave fiend makes up for it by its simple nature by sheer volume, inhabiting as many interred skeletons and bodies as possible. These dangerous entities prove that the living dead are not entirely products of a favored mind or a tired genre. Unfortunately. Grave Monster. Class 6 focused animator. Corporeal, dispersible. Attack, melee, range, berserk, weakness, shock blast. Grave monsters are creatures composed of animated cemetery debris, possessing by hellfire and driven by hatred of all things living. These are slower moving but exceptionally powerful creatures. Defeating a grave monster is not easy. Their accumulated cemetery rubble gives them additional layer of defense, allowing them to soak up a lot more damage than commonly expected. Yeah, been there, done that. Hobo Ghost. Class 5 free-roaming vapor. Like Slimer. Ghost must trap, attack, range, weakness, proton stream, days duration moderate, trap resistance medium. The big city can take a whole toll on people, especially those on the fringes of society, and New York is no exception. Many of its wanderers and outcasts have met unfortunate ends, and some of them still remain, attempting to extend those unfortunate ends to others. Yeah, like us. Imprisoned juvenile slore. Class 7 ectoplasmic outsider. deity, supreme being. Attack range, weakness, slime. Somehow Shandor's cult, guided by Evo himself, discovered a way to lure a young Slore from its home hell dimension into our world. Oy. More impressively, they also managed to imprison that Slore within a ghost world pocket at the heart of Shandor's island mansion. Fueled by hatred, bile, and anger, and assisted by mechanical monstrosities of Shandor's own design, this captive Slore serves as the powerful guardian of the Lost Island's dimension-lining orrery machinery. And probably the source of all that black slime, too. Ugh. Keyhead Monster. Class 6 Semi-Merged Attractor. Corporeal, dispersible. Attack, melee, range, berserk, weakness, shock blast. Closely related to other bidimensional attractors, these golems have been bound to a will greater than theirs to serve as sentries tasked to eternally guard otherworldly portals and gates. Yep. Okay. Kitchen Flyer. Class 1 inhibiting swarmer. Corporeal, attack, rush, swarm, suicide, weakness, shock blast. These restless spirits have been driven to inhabit and control small kitchen utensils. Quick moving but fairly weak, these swarmers' insubstantial forms quickly fade back into the depths of the ghost world when dislodged from the objects they possess. Statistically, kitchens are the location of a large number of injuries, especially when filled with swarms of attacking utensils. Yeah, I know. Been on the receiving end of that. Kitchen Golem. Class 6 bidimensional attractor. Type unstable, wrangle parts. Attack, melee, berserk, weakness, proton stream. Golems can bend objects to their will, manipulating to form portions of their own physically manifested form. PKE energy greatly grants the golem the ability to reconstitute damage or destroy portions of its body. This golem was formed from paranormally compromised items from the kitchen of a restaurant located in the Hotel Sedgwick. Man, that place is a breeding ground for spooks, specters, and ghosts. Librarian Ghost. Class 4 semi-anchored entity. Ghost must trap. Attack, range, spawn, weakness, proton stream. Days duration moderate. Trap resistance low. Special, summon book backs. Dr. Eleanor Twitty was the head librarian of the New York Public Library and the overseer of its collection of ancient artifacts, stone tablets, and thought-forgotten parchments. In March 1924, Dr. Twitty went missing. The New York Police Department made every effort to find her, including repeated room-to-room searches of the underground library stacks where she was last seen, but she was never found. Alive, that is. Now she wanders the stacks of the New York City Public Library, still organizing books and keeping louder library patrons shushed with a bony figure to the lips. By most appearances, she is still the same quaint, Gentile-looking woman as she was in life. Aggravate her, however, and she will transform into a rage-filled horror, and heaven help you if you have any overdue books. Like Ray does. Marshmallow Mini. Class 5 manifesting outworlder. Type corporeal. Attack, melee, range, rush, weakness, boson dart. Special, spawn of Stay Puft. These Class 5 entities are the mischievous spawn of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Land, a not-so-tasty blend of corn syrup, water, gelatin, tetrasodium pyrophosphate, and evil. Yeah, evil does not taste good. Opera Diva Ghost. Class 4 full-roaming phantom. Ghost must trap. Attacks, fangs, rush, weakness, proton stream. Days duration, moderate. Trap resistance, medium. In the popular long-running Broadway adaptation of Wagner's epic opera cycle, Ring, Brunhilde was sung by world-renowned soprano Carlotta Caprizi in her most famous role. The entire cast was killed when, in a burst of thunderous applause near the end of Carlotta's aria, the old and structurally questionable stage collapsed underneath them. These flat ladies never stopped singing. Diet time, tubos. I'm not being sensitive, but seriously. Paper construct. Class 6 transformed composite. Corporeal. Dispersible, attack, melee, range, weakness, shock blast. Special, can teleport. Yeah, been there, done that. Drawn inexplicably to old libraries and archives, these malicious apparitions have been known to clothe their insubstantial forms with paper, books, tomes, parchments, and even ancient scrolls in order to manifest in and interact with the mortal world. Paper constructs seem to be lesser manifestations that are controlled by more powerful entities. If only print were dead. I know. Pappy Sargassi, Class 3 roaming animator. Ghost, must trap, attack, melee, range, rush, weakness, proton stream, day's duration, moderate, trap resistance, medium. Descending from a long, proud line of seafarers and fishermen, Pappy Sargassi attempted to avoid the notoriously unlucky early deaths on the water that plagued his family by pursuing a more landlocked career. In 1950, he opened a restaurant, Sargassi's, and attempted to turn his back to the undersea. In later years, he overcame his fear of water and took up fishing. His family curse finally caught up with him when he was the unluckiest fisherman who was ever lived and died choking on a fish stick while being eaten by a great white shark. Yikes! What a way to go! Possessed human. Category 3, Class 3 possessor host. Type possessor, slime, neutralized, attack, melee, range, rust, weakness, slime. Possessed humans are innocent bystanders possessed by and controlled by Class 3 possessor ghosts. Slime bore use will drive possessor ghosts out of their human victims, but beware, its lingering PK resonance is not enough to prevent possessors from repossessing anyone who already slimed. Yeah, I learned that one the hard way. Possessed statue. Class 3 possessor host. Corporeal, dispersible, attack, melee, rush, range, rush, weakness, shock blast. Possessor ghosts can also possess and take control of some statuary mannequins, are thus often encountered in a wide variety of museums, as well as in far more clothing stores than one would reasonably expect. Yeah. Fortunately, in possessing an animate, non-living object like a mannequin or a statue binds the possessing ghost spirit to that object. Not only is the ghost unable to leave, but is also disrupted when the possessed object is destroyed. That is convenient. Possessor ghost. Okay. Class 7 wandering possessor. Type ghost. Must trap, attack, range, weakness, proton stream, day's duration moderate, trap resistant medium, special, possessed bystanders. Miss Mirnick, a pragmatist with a vision, opened the St. Nicholas Rehabilitation Mission for Wayward Angels. The mission took fallen and destitute women off the mean streets and cleaned them up, gave them new hope, and trained them for new careers. St. Nick's presided its desirable charges to the many gentlemen's club events, fraternity parties, and business conventions that occurred around the city on a regular basis in return for considerable donations. Shrewd Mrs. Mirnick could always spot an opportunity and knew that her customers could not afford to let word of its excesses get around. These were highly respected and upstanding men in the community, after all. She told them she was willing to remain discreet for a sizable donation. Fortunately, Miss Mirnick failed to realize that the lengths some of them would go to preserve their reputation, and one night a gang of Pinkertons paid a visit to St. Nick's. Now, like Mrs. Mirnick's ghost and those of her charges have appeared in many fine establishments and hotels since 1923, but they tend to favor the Museum of Natural History. Smooth move, lady. Shandor the Architect. Also known as Shandor the Jerk. Class 7 transform mortal remnant. Type deity. Supreme attack throw. Weakness Mazon Collector. Special protect by mystic barriers. Though his early history is problematic and open to debate, it is known that Evo was a medical doctor who performed a lot of unnecessary surgery, as well as an architect of some renown. After World War I, Shandor decided the society was too sick to survive. On June 6, 1920, he started a secret society of Djoser worshippers, numbering around 1,000, dedicated to bring about the end of the world. It is now known that Shandor and his followers researched heavily into the paranormal, especially in the areas of pre-apocalypse and ectoplasmic hybridology. During that same time, Shandor apparently also made some serious connections within the Gozerian pantheon because following his death, he was undergone a complete transformation and has become a major Gozerian power himself. Yeah, and now he's bested. Slimer, Class 5 full roaming vapor. Ghost, must trap. Attack, throw, rush. Weakness, proton stream. Days duration long. Trap resistance low. Sometimes called onion head or simply the mean green ghost. Ray purportedly named this creature Slimer specifically to annoy Peter, who still carries a long-standing distrust of the creature. Regardless of what he's called, this focused non-terminal repeating phantasm personifies gluttony is drawn to anything edible. While this class 5 full roaming vapor isn't especially malicious, you don't want to be between him and a snack. Use caution when he's hungry, which is all the time. Yeah! The Sloth Ghost. Class 5 full roaming cardinal. Class must trap. Attack, range, weakness, proton stream, days duration, moderate, trap resistance, median. The Sedgwick Hotel traditionally auctioned off a family Thanksgiving feast and donated the proceeds to charity, usually the St. Nicholas Rehabilitation Mission for Wayward Angels. In 1937, Arbizon Morguntra, a wealthy but lonely Apurian, bid upon and won the feast. On Thanksgiving Day, he ran along. The Sedgwick manager protested that the feast was intended for more than 12 people. Manager insisted that he be fed the entire meal. The manager shrugged and finally relented. Mungo sat down, ate the entire meal, leaving not a crumb. My compliment to the chef, he said. 7 hours later, swallowing the last bite, he died from a gastric rupture due to massive overeating. Authorities later found a suicide note on Munguntra's home outlining that he intended to die while indulging his greatest fantasy. That was your greatest fantasy, pal? Ugh. Yuck. Spider Crawler. Class 6 vermin entity. Corporeal and dispersible. Attack, range, poison, swarm. Weakness, boson dart. A close relative of the venom crawler, spider crawlers. He is also physical manifestations of the vermin spirits, though of a different order. Encounters with these creatures have only been reported on the ghost plane, where they are usually the heralds of other, more dangerous powers. Yeah, we found that one out the hard way. Spider Witch. Class 6 elevated remnant. Deity, supreme being. Attack, melee range, weakness, proton stream. This anomalous woman, the authorities never discovered her identity, spent several years in the 20s living in the Sedgwick Hotel. There, for a purpose only known to herself and her master, Hivo Shandor, she lured men into her rooms and then murdered them, though it's uncertain if they were killed before or after they hung from the ceiling and drained of their blood. Ugh. As a reward for her efforts as a member of the Inner Circle after her death, Shandor used his substantial powers to elevate her, creating the Spider Witch. Now a terrifying spider-human fusion, she and her insect-like minions to protect Gozer's interests and Shandor's interests in the strange, twisted plane that exists immediately between our world and the ghost world. Oh, come on. Insect-like? It's arachnids! Spiders are arachnids! Ay. Okay. Stay Puffed. Class 7 outside avatar. Deity, supreme being. Behavior, attack, melee, throw, spawn, weakness, boson dart, special spawns, marshmallow minis. Once only the cartoon mascot of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Corporation, Stay Puft became a giant marshmallow menace when Gozer, the powerful Sumerian god, forced the Ghostbusters to choose the form of his physical manifestation. Though they all tried to clear their minds, Ray couldn't help but think of his favorite childhood icon. It just popped in there, he said. Stay Puft was initially defeated when the Ghostbusters crossed their streams at Gozer Portal, resulting in a total protonic reversal. It's not certain why or how Stay Puft is returned, but without a portal to the Ghost World handy, crossing the streams to defeat it again is probably not an option. Yeah, thank goodness for boson darts. Stone Angel. Class 5 minor kinetic animator. Corporeal. Dispersible. Attack, range, rush. Weakness, proton stream. Wrangle slam. Weaker entities probably related to those at the heart of each stone gargoyle. These kinetic animators make up for their individual weakness by attacking in greater numbers. Yeah, been on the receiving end of that. Stone gargoyle. Class 6 kinetic animator. type corporeal and dispersible. Okay, attack, throw, rush, weakness, proton stream, wrangle, slam. Created when normal storm gargoyles are inhabited by powerful ghost world entities, these Class 6 kinetic animators possess all the inherent strength of their original stone, fortified by a large dose of PKE energy. Stone gargoyles are strong and dangerous, but are also susceptible to taking impact damage. All Class 6 creatures are openly hostile to humanity, and great care must be made when dealing with them to minimize the risk of innocent lives. Yeah, those things do not hold back. The Chairman. Class 7 ectoplasmic entity. Deity. Supreme being. Attack, range. Weakness, Meson Collider. Shandor and his cult made many powerful connections, perhaps none more so than New York City's most powerful business leaders and power brokers. Shandor used his dark abilities to help each of them in some state as their careers, and they were indebted to him. They came together publicly as trustees of the Natural History Museum, and privately misused their influence to help Shandor implement and maintain his mandala throughout the city. When they died, each of them returned as guardians of the mandala and the Natural History Museum in particular. Their closeness to Shandor's evil regenerated them as ectoplasmic enemies. The chairman, formerly Cornelius Wesley, the chairman of International Steel, wielded the most powerful in life, and likewise is the most powerful in death, becoming one of Shandor's mightiest servants. Ugh. Union Ghost. Class 4, full torso floater. Ghost, must trap. Behaviors, attack, range. Weakness, proton stream. Days duration, moderate. Trap resistance, medium. A local Civil War unit, the New York 87th Thurbolds Wrong Way, got lost on the way to battle, wandered in circles in the coldest winter in the East Coast history, and eventually died of exposure only 30 miles from home. Oh. They now haunt the city looking for battle. In the museum, it seems, they found it. Yeah, no kidding. Venom Crawler. Class 6 Vermin Dominant. Corporeal, dispersible. Attack, range, poison, swarm. Weakness, slime. Venom crawlers are physical manifestations of the vermin spirits that power candelabra crawlers, having managed to breach the planar barriers and cross over to our world. Being actual physical entities, venom crawlers are much more powerful and dangerous than their lesser forms and should be treated with caution. Yeah, I know. Webbed Fiend. Class 5 Webbed Fiend. Type corporeal. Attack, melee, range, rush, weakness, shock blast. Special, ambusher. Outwardly humanoid in appearance, webbed fiends can draw upon PKE energy to alter their appearance in order to present a terrifying visage that can cause those with weaker wills to flee. As though they are trapped between two worlds, webbed fiends quickly transition between the ghost world and the physical world. Just don't be there when they do. Believe me, I know that feeling. Okay. Well, that takes care of Tobin's spirit guide. And that took longer than I had expected it would. So I think we'll call it here. I hope that you'll enjoy, you like, favorite, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope you'll be here next time as I go through the cursed artifacts we collected. And one other thing that I happened to notice when I was doing a quick replay of one of the sections. So until then, take care.